Hello dear students, welcome to BAJIRAO IAS Academy. So in this session we will discuss a very important topic. So that is recently in news. So the topic is the Maratha quota demand. Okay, so Marathas are from Maharashtra. Okay, so Marathas are from Maharashtra. So they have long been demanding the reservation in educational institutions and in employment. Okay, so there were multiple attempts that were already made by the state governments to give or to provide reservation for the Marathas. Okay, so recently the state government of Maharashtra has, or the assembly of the Maharashtra has anonymously passed the Maratha reservation bill. Okay, or Maratha reservation legislation has been passed by the state legislative assembly. So this bill will provide a grant, or it will provide a 10% reservation for the Maratha community in educational institutions and government jobs. Okay, so because of this reason it is in news. The Maratha quota issue is in news because the state legislative assembly has passed a bill, that is Maratha reservation bill, and this will provide 10% reservation for the Maratha community in educational institutions as well as the public employment. Okay, so or the government employment. So this bill is called as the Maharashtra State Socially Educationally Backward Bill of 2024. Okay, so Maharashtra State Socially Educationally Backward Bill 2024 was passed by the Maharashtra State Legislative Assembly. So once this bill has enacted, and it will undergo a thorough review after a decade of implementation, right? So this essentially means that once the bill is passed, it becomes a legislation. The government will start implementing this particular piece of legislation. So after the implementation, every 10 years or once in a decade, the state government will review this particular legislation. Okay, so to understand the impact of the legislation over the development of the Maratha community, the socio-economic or educational development of the Maratha community, and this was clearly included in the Maharashtra State Socially and Educationally Backward Bill of 2024. So before understanding in a detailed way, we will we will also look into the few things. Firstly, who are Marathas? Okay, so who are Marathas, where they are from, what were their demands? And secondly, we will also understand what is the issue with the demand of Maratha quota, why they are demanding the Maratha quota. And third, we will also understand how the Maratha reservation has evolved over a period of time. So what are the different committees, what are the various Supreme Court judgments with respect to this? So earlier also, the Maharashtra has passed socially and educationally backward classes bill, including the Marathas under the OBCs. Okay, so however that bill was struck down by the Supreme Court in the year 2018, and we will also look into it, why the Supreme Court has struck down this bill. Now, so understand who are the Marathas, who are the Maratha community. So as I have already told you, Marathas are a community in Maharashtra. Okay, so they are a community in the state of Maharashtra. Okay, so Marathas comprises mainly the peasant and the land owning groups. Okay, so they are mainly the peasant groups. Either they are land owning groups or the labor. Okay, so either they are land owning group or the labor. So they consist of almost 1/3 of the total population in the state of Maharashtra. Okay, so Marathas themselves constitute 1/3 of the total population, and most of the Marathas, either they are peasants or the land owning community. So primarily they dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. Okay, so they depend on agriculture for their livelihood. Now, so apart from this, most of the Marathas speak the Marathi language in Maharashtra. So however, we cannot say that all the people who are speaking Marathi language can be considered as Marathas. However, the most of the Marathas speak Marathi language, right? So if we talk about the political progress of the Maratha community, So they are considered as politically most progressive community from Maharashtra. Okay, so they are dominant community from Maharashtra, not just politically, economically, and even educationally. That was held by the earlier committees which were appointed for the social and educational development of on the social and educational development of the Maratha community. So they are politically dominant, and this can be evident from the fact that around 12 chief ministers 12 chief ministers out of the 20 chief ministers are from Maratha community itself. Okay, so by this you can clearly say that they are politically a dominant community in Maharashtra. So however, the Maratha community in the earlier part of the discussion, as I have already told you, that they are predominantly dependent on the agriculture sector, right? So since they are predominantly dependent on the agriculture sector, what has been happening? Because of division of land holdings. Okay, so division of land holdings has been taking place, land holdings, and there is an increase in the small and marginal laborers, small and marginal farmers across Maharashtra, and most of them were from the Maratha community. So apart from that, because of the crisis in agriculture, there were farmers suicides as well. There were farmers suicides because Maharashtra is known for the farmers suicides. So because of all these issues, all these problems they have been facing from the farm sector over the years led to the decline in the prosperity of the Marathas. So earlier they were considered as the most prosperous group of people. They were educationally, politically, and socially and economically most progressive group. Because of these challenges, division of land holdings and problems in the farm sector, the prosperity has been declining. Yeah, come, I'll come. Okay. Okay, so division of holdings and problems in the farm sector over the years. So because of this reason, Marathas have been demanding the a separate Maratha reservation category, under which they will get at least some quantum of reservation in the educational institutions and even in government jobs. Okay, next, currently Maharashtra providing 52% of the reservation for the different communities. Okay, so it has been providing around 52% of the reservation for the Maratha, not just for the Marathas, but various castes. For example, if you look at scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes. Now the reservation has reached to the quantum of 52%. So in earlier Indira Sawnai judgment, so we all know about that, the Indira Sawnai judgment of the Supreme Court in the year 1992 held that the reservation should not exceed 50% quantum. Okay, so that was the limit imposed by the Indira Sawnai judgment. However, the Supreme Court Constitution Bench in the EWS judgment has validated the 10% of reservation for the economically weaker sections. Thereby, the reservation has become 60%. Right? So if you look at the composition of the reservation in Maratha, so 48% of the total population will constitute the general category, and 19% of the reservation is being provided for the other backward classes, and 13% is provided for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes for 7%, and 13% of the reservation is provided for the special backward classes. So in Maharashtra, there are special backward classes and other backward classes as well. So the total reservation in the state now is 52%. So this is the reservation basket in Maharashtra. Now the Marathas have also been demanding for more reservation or reservation for them, right? So what are the issue with the demand of Maratha quota? Why so far has state governments not given reservation for the Maratha community? What is the main issue? Okay, so Marathas have been demanding reservation in jobs and education under the OBC category, so other backward classes category, for decades. So please imagine, so the issue here is that OBCs are considered as socially plus educationally backward classes. So however, if you look at Marathas, comparatively they are socially, educationally and economically a progressive class compared to the other backward classes. And if Marathas are included in the other backward classes, then certainly the OBC categories, would certainly feel insecure, because now the progressive community called Marathas, if included in the OBC category, then most of the reservation benefits will be available for the Marathas because they are most progressive socially, politically, educationally and economically. So after that, it has also been facing certain legal issues as well. So what sort of a legal issues it has been facing? So earlier also the state government has passed the bill for providing reservation for the Maratha community. Okay, so the bill was Socially and Economically Backward Classes Act 2018. So that provided around 16% of the reservation for the Maratha community in the state. However, so here the Supreme Court has intervened and Supreme Court has struck down this particular piece of legislation as unconstitutional. Okay, so this is invalid. This is what the Supreme Court has held with respect to the earlier passed legislation. So what was the state response? So state has filed a curative petition. So what is a curative petition? Generally, whenever a judgment is given by the Supreme Court, then a review petition would be filed to review the judgment. So after the review judgment, the only option which is available for the petitioners is the curative petition. So if the Supreme Court believes that there's a miscarriage of justice, then the curative petition would be accepted by the Supreme Court. And the curative petition is the last option that is being available with the petitioners. Okay, so that was Supreme Court has introduced this curative petition in Rupa Ashok Hurra versus Ashok Hurra judgment. Okay, so in that particular judgment, the Supreme Court has talked about this curative petition. Okay, so Marathas have been demanding that they should be identified as Kunbis. Okay, so they should be identified as Kunbis, and the Kunbis is a subcaste within the OBCs. Okay, so the Kunbis already get the OBC status, and now Marathas have been demanding that they should be included as part of Kunbis. Okay, so however, earlier the Justice Sandeep Shinde committee was appointed for this purpose. Okay, so decide the procedure for granting Kunbi caste certificate for the Marathas. Okay, so that is Justice Sandeep Shinde committee. So if you look at the evolution of the Maratha reservation law, so we need to talk about different committees that were appointed for the purpose previously. First, Kaka Kalilkar committee or Kaka Kalilkar commission that was appointed in the year 1955. Okay, so what this commission has said with respect to the Maratha reservation? So it has said that apart from Brahman community, so the Maratha claim to have dominated all other communities in the Maharashtra. Okay, so Marathas have dominated all other communities in Maharashtra apart from Brahmins. So this is a most progressive community in terms of social development, political development, economic development and educational development. So hence the Kaka Kalilkar committee has said that they will not be recognized as the backward class community in the state of Bombay. So this is what the Kaka Kalilkar committee has said. It has said that the Maratha community is the most progressive community after Brahmins. So next, a B.D. Deshmukh committee was appointed in the year 1964. So this B.D. Deshmukh committee has also found out that the Marathas were not the backward communities. Okay, so they were not backward class. This was what identified by the B.D. Deshmukh Commission. So next, we all know about the Mandal Commission. So Mandal Commission has provided 27% of the reservation for the other backward classes. So the Mandal Commission has also reviewed the reservation demand for the Marathas. Okay, so the Mandal Commission, also known with the name called National Commission for Backward Classes. Okay, so this is National Commission for Backward Classes. So this Mandal Commission has held that Marathas are not socially and educationally backward class community, but rather socially advanced and a prestigious community, and this is what was held by the Mandal Commission or National Commission for Backward Classes. So after that, a Rane Commission was appointed in the year 2014. Okay, so this Rane Commission has recommended a special reservation for the Maratha caste under Article 15.4 and Article 16.4 of the Indian Constitution. So under these articles, the central government can make amendments and for the providing special provisions with respect to the backward classes, socially and educationally backward classes under Article 15.4 and Article 16.4. Okay, so it has recommended the special reservation for the Maratha community, which is the Rana Commission. Next, Justice M.G. Gaikwad Committee. That was also appointed in the year 2017 for the purpose of providing reservation. Okay, so this committee, M.G. Gaikwad Committee, has also recommended that the Maratha people should be designated as socially and economically backward class. Okay, with the insufficient representation in services. So this essentially means that the Maratha community is socially and educationally backward class. So it was based on the report Maharashtra's Socially Educationally Backward Classes Act. So that was enacted in the year 2018. Okay, so these were the evolution of the Maratha reservation over a period of time. So earlier, the state government, the State Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra in the year 2018 has also passed Maharashtra Socially and Educationally Backward Class, that is Socially and Educationally Backward Class Act of 2018. So this particular legislation was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, because the first and foremost reason for declaring this as unconstitutional, because it has been exceeding the 50% ceiling limit that was imposed by the Indira Sawhney judgment. Okay, so in Indira Sawhney versus Union of India judgment, the Supreme Court has held that reservation ceiling should not increase 50% of the quota, and because of this reason, the Supreme Court declared it as unconstitutional. So after that, it lacks data. Okay, so whenever you are providing reservation for a particular community, it should be backed by adequate data. That data proves that that particular community is socially and educationally backward. Okay, so the particular legislation, the SEBC Act of 2018, provides reservation on the basis of Justice Gaikwad Commission report. So this Justice Gaikwad Commission has identified the Marathas as the backward community. Marathas as the backward community. However, it lacks a reliable, scientific and adequate data. So that data justifies providing reservation, or they considering Marathas as the backward class. Okay, so apart from that, it also violates the fundamental rights, because this particular legislation establishes a separate reservation category for the Marathas outside the OBC category. Okay, so not within the OBCs, rather this has been providing reservation outside the OBC category. So therefore it has been infringing on the rights, articles such as Article 14, right to equality, Article 16, Article 19 of the Constitution, by bestowing special benefits to them. Okay, so there should not be special benefits, special bias or special favors for one particular community. So this is also another reason why the Supreme Court declared this SEBC Act of 2018. And similarly, it has also violated 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So the 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act has provided constitutional status to National Commission for Backward Classes. So earlier, National Commission for Scheduled Castes, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes have constitutional status, but National Commission for Backward Classes was also given constitutional status under 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so it says that the particular piece of legislation has passed without adhering to the procedures that were outlined in the 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act to declare any caste as a socially and educationally backward class. So the first procedure it mandates is President alone is empowered to identify the socially and educationally backward classes. and once he identifies them, then he can include them in a list published under article 242 clause 1, 242a clause 1. Secondly, the states can only make suggestions to the president or to the National Commission for the backward classes under article 338b. So 338 provides for the National Commission for backward classes. Okay, so this is how, because of these reasons, the Supreme Court has struck down the earlier passed legislation. So however, the Maharashtra State Legislative Assembly has passed Maharashtra Socially and Educationally Backward Class Reservation for Marathas, and it has provided 10% reservation for the Marathas. So because of this reason, it has been discussed today. Okay, so that's all in this lecture, and if you really like a video, please like the video and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.